Welcome to Erica Lynn Speaks. An inspirational, motivational conversation designed specifically to help you move forward. And now, here's Erica Lynn.
And go.
Welcome. This is your girl, Erica Lynn. I'm back. I'm so excited about today's episode. Man, I'm always doing something. Y'all know I can't sit still. I can't be quiet. Your girl got to keep busy, right? But I got to bring you all aspects and all avenues for things that will help grow you, empower you, and take you to your next level. You see, my guest today, he going to talk to you about what it's like being behind the scenes, helping so many others reach their goals and their dreams, right? How did they get there? They didn't get there alone. 9 times out of 10, it always happened with your squad, your team, the people that help push you and motivate you. And so today we're going to discuss how he climbed the theatrical ladder and also help empower others to getting to reaching their goal. But before I bring my guest on, I want to make sure that you guys like, follow, and subscribe. Go on over to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button right now. Y'all know how I feel when you don't hit that subscribe button. And as y'all know, you can always go to my website at IamEricaLynnSpeaks.com and you can find out all about your girl, right? Because I give y'all a mouthful all the time. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be quiet. And so, you know, before I bring my guest on and he share his powerful, amazing story, I want to always give a shout out to our sponsor. So here's our sponsor.
Experience the difference with Executive Transportation Services Network, your trusted leader in luxury ground transportation and concierge services. Our award-winning team delivers safe, reliable, and professional services every time. Call 734-770-8990. Choose Executive Transportation Services Network, where excellence rides with you.
Yes, shout out to ETSN 24/7 with luxury transportation. Just the sound of that voice make you feel luxurious, right? But if you guys want a ride, just go to ETSN247.com and we'll get you together, right? So without further ado, I want to just tell you a little bit about my guest before I bring him on. He's a production and stage manager who has worked behind the scenes of concerts, theatrical productions, and live events, making sure everything runs on time, from early morning set bills to coordinating directly with headline artists. He's also worked as an artist manager and developer, helping talent grow, shape their careers, and step confidently into the spotlight. Before entertaining, he came from a corporate background at General Motors, where he worked in pension services, helping people plan their retirement. That's a good thing, right? So all y'all that's retiring and still look good, you got to give him a shout out. Bringing structure and discipline into everything he does. But his story took a life-altering turn. In 2018, he suffered a devastating fall when steps at his apartment complex collapsed. He was found unresponsive, even mistaken for deceased. After being rushed to the hospital and later undergoing neck fusion surgery in 2022, complications left him paralyzed for several months. Through resilience and determination, he fought his way back, physically and mentally. So tonight, we're not just talking about a career, we're talking about an amazing man. Welcome my guest to the show, Mike Lynch.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you
welcome.
so much. It's always an honor and a privilege when a production person behind the scenes gets the golden opportunity to speak about our experiences.
Yes, yes. I'm so happy that you agreed to come on the show because you are correct. It takes a lot. Like for me to even be here in front of the podcast, I did not get here by myself.
Yes.
I always tell people I got a full squad that's working behind the scenes, and you know all too well what that's like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does.
Mhm.
It just you didn't just arrive.
Yes.
And a lot of people, their concern is not about us. When 8 o'clock comes, it's showtime.
Mm.
They don't care that I've been there since 8 that morning doing load in and those type of things and sound checks because they paid their money to see a show, and that's what their concern is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what does a production and stage manager actually do that people don't see?
Well, that load in starts at about 8 a.m. generally. Most union halls, 8 a.m. We load in lights, sound, set. All from that point, we set up, and then there's, of course, when in a union house, there's a break.
Mhm.
And then, you take that break, get back on it. As a production manager, it's my job to make sure we stay on time because the logistics have already told the artist what time their sound check is. And when they arrive, that's what they want to do. They don't want to hear, oh, we messed up. Now I have had to make some calls, and a very well-known artist was very upset because his team, as you spoke about, didn't inform him that we were 30 minutes behind.
Okay.
And when he got in the Fox, he said, "Where's this Mike Lynch? Where's Mike Lynch?" And he about 6'4", very well-known artist. And I said, "I'm Mike Lynch." And he said, "I want to know, blah, 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 blah." So I didn't want to throw nobody under the bus.
Right.
I just explained what had happened. And I got to give a shout out to TJ Hemfield, who's about that same height and built. He came and stood beside me. So that kind of hushed it down a little bit. Okay, once we run through those sound checks,
Mhm.
we generally get about an hour break.
Mhm.
But as a production manager, that's his job,
Okay.
to make sure that everything is set up, sound checks are done, and then it's showtime.
Yes.
When it's showtime, that's when I switch hats. I become a stage manager.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times people, according to their budget, let me keep it real, they'll hire both people,
Okay.
the PM and the SM.
Okay.
As the SM, if it's 8 o'clock, 7, the show is at 8,
Mm-hmm.
7:50, I'm telling everybody, hey, places, time to rock this show.
Yeah.
And I keep them on time. With rappers, you gotta really watch and keep a clock
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, it's flashing, bro, you gotta go.
So is it true that when the clock is flashing and they go over that they get fined and have to pay additional income, revenue or, a fees?
The promoter does.
Okay.
Not the artist.
Oh.
The promoter gets that. I'm hired by the promoter, and he'll say, Mike, what happened? That's your job. What happened?
Okay.
Why did this happen? Because at 11 o'clock, we should be off the stage.
Okay.
We don't have to be out of the auditorium, but we got to be off that stage.
Okay. That's good to know. Because I know my team here. So, doing the podcast, right? You could do what you want to do, right? Because I originally started shooting my podcast at home. And at first I was at 30 minutes. Then I went to an hour. Like my first guest, we kind of went over an hour. And I was like, nobody's attention span is going to sit there that long to listen to a podcast. I just been blessed to have really amazing guests that come on the podcast that have nuggets that make you sit there and listen to it. And then if you don't want to sit there, you just come back and listen to it in parts. But I get a lot of feedback, right? And so when we came into the studio here, Pastor Sam, because this is his house, right?
Okay.
He went over, and then my team and his team was like, listen, we know he can talk. We know you got a show, but please respect our time, respect, you
That's
know, the
right.
things. And so after that day, I've been respectful. But then my team, which is my production person, he says at 8 o'clock, I'm cutting it off. So we were having a real good podcast one day, and I was still going, and he was sitting there, and then I had some few things to say. So when I got over, and I'm looking at the camera, and I'm just really killing it, and then I say, "How did he go?" He says, "I don't know. I cut it off at 8 o'clock."
My man.
So after
Yeah.
that, if you ever watch the episodes, I'll be like, "Okay, y'all, it's 7:54.
Wrap it up.
7.
We gotta wrap it up. Yes,
So
that's so
good.
true.
Right. So let's find out. So you work closely with artists. What's some things misunderstood performers behind the scenes? Like what's some things people misunderstand, I'm sorry, about performers behind the scenes?
That they're all kind and loving, and that they just love their job.
Yeah.
I have been told off, cussed out, fingers put in my face
Okay.
about some of the things you said your producer did. You know, I had to tell them, hey, got to go. Well, blah, blah, blah. And the reverse side of that, I've had to put up an artist maybe 10 minutes early. They didn't appreciate it. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll get this 10 minutes in. And they was like, I don't care what such and such a did or didn't do. I'm not going on to my appointed time.
Got you. Okay, so how do you handle pressure when there's no rehearsal and everything has to be perfect live?
If I just have learned over the years, I just take it. Whatever they say to me, however they address me, I just take it because my name is not on the marquee. I'm not selling not one ticket. And if they go to the promoter and say, as long as Mike Lynch is around, I'm not going on. So guess what the promoter gonna say? Mike, go to the green room till they finish. It has never happened, thank God. But I just take it. I let it run off me. And I say, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And go on about my business.
Yeah.
I've had a promoter go to me and say, now go to their dressing room and apologize. I know it wasn't your fault. I was standing right there. I got to do it.
You got to do it. How does that make you feel?
I learned early on that everybody's not nice and kind and sweet. Even, I hate to say this, but even gospel artists, they come with a tude.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're the star.
Yeah.
And I will say this, 80% of the times that an artist has confronted me, they come back and apologize.
Okay.
If I could tell you a quick story about a gentleman that went off on me. This was in theater. And a gentleman, the lead singer of the Temptations, he came and he told this gentleman, we don't talk to Mr. Mike like that, bro. Whatever happened, it's happened, but just don't talk to him like that.
Yeah.
So it's been, I put on my big boy underwear and I just take it.
And you don't take it personal.
I don't take it personal.
You don't take it because at the end of the day, they don't have to go home with you. As long as you get your check, right? Then you did what you were supposed to do.
You're so right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, I don't know if I could be that. I'm a little sensitive, right? But I'm sensitive. I yelled at my staff once and I felt bad about yelling. So I did apologize, but I don't, everybody know that I'm just not that person, you know? So I'm fun to work for. So when I'm on the stage at the Fox, remind me of that, okay?
Okay.
I remember, Erica, you said you was fun.
I heard it with my own ears.
So what made you move from running shows to helping develop artists?
The artists came to me.
Okay.
Local artists.
Okay.
They would come to me and say, How did I do? What should I do? They were questioning me. And so I would give them the advice or the answers, and then they would say, well, can you continue to help me? And I thought about it. I mean, I've been in this industry going on 30 years.
Okay.
I know the ropes and I know what it takes. I try to tell them the number one thing is patience. It's a lot of starving artists is what they're called. So just be patient. And that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot because it doesn't happen overnight.
Amen.
You know, because it took a couple of years for me to get here, although I had podcasted, but then I took a break, and then to come back and to see God moving in this podcast. And I'm blessed that I'm doing a podcast that's not hurting individuals, but empowering you and allowing the message that you bring onto this platform pour out to others, because it seemed like but everybody that has been on this podcast that has shared a message that has touched somebody or helped them in their career, or, you know, because we all get beat up every day, right?
All the time.
And so you already sharing a story that, they beat me up verbally, but I don't stop. I get my paycheck. Like, okay, get it together.
And because of that, of what you said, I get a dual role as a stage manager. I have been assigned to the nationals because of my personality. My spiritual gift, of course, is administration, but it's hospitality as well. And those that go to church will understand that. And so I'm kind, I'm nice, and I've learned that, like you said, I'm not going home together.
Yes, that's right. So what separates an artist who makes it from one who doesn't?
Patience. And let me say this, a pet peeve of mine, and I don't tell the artist this, is to every other word I say, you know. I know. And then in my mind, I'd be like,
and is it I know like a figure of speech, or they're saying because you're telling them something, they like, I already Erica, know. Yeah, I know some people like that. I know already. I know. Yes. And so those people you want to it's almost like I want to see you get hit in the head, but then you still got to be professional. I really don't want you to fall, but okay. Just,
it's the listening factor. It's taking my advice factor. My current artist he listens and he takes my advice and he's appreciative. I've been waiting on somebody to push me. And that just makes me push him even harder.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Okay. So what's the biggest mistake new artists make early in their careers?
Thinking they're going to be a millionaire.
Listen, I love that.
Months.
I love that. You are so right? And they got the attitude to go with it.
Erica.
They got the attitude. They don't know. Like, I've worked 2 and 3 jobs. I drove Uber. I did it all because the money don't just come right away. No. And then you got to pay people. So as an artist, you got to pay your staff and pay for this and pay for that. And even if you get a record deal,
yes,
that comes with something.
It does.
You know,
a lot of times up and coming artists, they think it's your responsibility to be their cashier. That's not true. You got to finance your own. It's my job to manage it. It's my job to say, in this industry, do you have life insurance? Is there a jealous girlfriend or wife? Because if you got that, Houston, we got a problem. Because I hate eye candy. It sells.
Yes.
So and they know that the artists and the women are there. But if the girlfriend in the side cutting up,
yes,
it won't work.
It won't work because she stops you from growth. Yeah, I get it. Do you ever see that reverse with a lot of women artists that have a jealous male counterpart. The men, they just say, get out there and make that money, baby. Is that what you're saying?
I
The
didn't
men,
say
is
it.
he saying? So the women,
Erica
we jealous,
said it.
but the men, y'all put them out there, put us out there on a stroll. I see it. I hear it.
I didn't say it. Erica said it. This her show.
Right, I can't even take it back. We live, right? Okay, so how do you balance being supportive while still being honest and with your talent?
I never interrupt talent while on set or performing.
Okay.
When that next day, I let them woosah that night and the next day, and they know I'm on the call, and I give them pointers. This, or you did good here. That was good, but that other thing, you don't do that.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh. I like that. You know, one of the biggest things that I was criticized about when I was out here the first time was my laugh. They didn't like the way I laughed. It's like, do you have to laugh like that? You sound like a hyena, right? But then when I actually started asking people who actually watch the show, other than those who criticize me, they was like, that's what makes the show, you being authentic. So this is really how I laugh, and I can't be fake about it. So when I was being fake, I'd be like, you know what I mean? But that was just not me. And so when I realized that, be myself, be authentic.
Absolutely. And authenticity, people can see that and
Yes.
feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you feel my authenticity?
I do. And I feel relaxed.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. So we talked in your intro, I talked about you coming from the corporate world in General Motors. And then you help work with people's pensions.
Yes.
How did that experience shape you?
It shaped me because it was 4 hours of on the phone taking calls from regular employees that were still in GM and having questions. They wanted to know who, what, when, where, and why. And then the second half of my day was the hardest part. And I always did it after. You could do it before or after, putting those numbers together.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't have AI and all of that.
So y'all had to count
that
for
part.
real, dude. I had to use a calculator for real.
Right.
It's gonna say, hey, I add all of this, huh?
Absolutely. But the on incoming calls molded me because you get a lot. I don't mention names, of course, but there's been a lot of women who call in and find out when they get to the funeral home, the money wasn't left to them. And they call us livid. But we don't control where an individual employee puts his money.
Yes.
Or the second one, not getting their pension check. And then, again, before direct deposits and the debit cards, it was checks.
Okay.
And we would have to say, well, give the mailman 3 more days. And if you don't get it by the 7th day, call us back. And if they call back that 7th day, you just looked at the phone and we didn't have this. You just be going.
But we did have caller ID.
Yeah.
I think we got caller ID. I was still, I probably was in elementary school when we started getting caller ID.
Well, I'm older than you.
Yes.
And we don't ask ladies their age.
Oh, I ain't shame. I ain't shame, baby. I ain't no. Let's stop. but yeah.
It gave me the tough skin. I got called out of my name. But I would turn that over to the supervisor. And the team was so real. They would say, they take the call and then they would say, we don't address our employees like that. And from this point on, and they say, I'm the supervisor, I'll take your concerns. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they forgot that they were live, hot on the phone, and I could hear them. Such and such a heat, blah, 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 blah. And if I was highly offended, I would just pass it.
Yeah.
So it gave me that tough skin that I now have, but still keep a pleasant attitude about it.
Yeah, yeah, because that was going to take me into my next question, which was what skills from corporate life actually helped you survive in the entertainment. And so this is what gave you that tough skin.
It did.
Because if I call and I could, and you wasn't giving me my check, and even if it wasn't your fault, then I'm mad at you too.
Yep.
Give me my check. Okay.
Where my blankety blank check at? Don't tell me the number. I know my mailman. He been on our route for 50 years. Yes, ma'am.
That's funny. So I want to know, did you always know that you'll end up in this industry, or did life push you there?
My parents, God rest both their souls.
Yes.
I did a play called the Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. You know, that's awesome, so famous. I called it a modern day. I was in elementary school and I did that. And the principal stepped in during our rehearsal and she said, "Wow, you rewrote that?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I wanted to be the assembly for the whole school." And it became the assembly, you know, to go into the auditorium, the little bitty chairs, and everybody was there. I said, "Hey, look at me. I'm somebody." And my parents came and they saw what I had done. And it wasn't no big production. We just used modern language.
Yeah.
And they took me to see my first Broadway production at the Fisher Theater, Hello, Dolly, with the late, great Pearl Bailey.
Yeah.
She played Dolly. Then they saw I was sitting on the edge of my stage seat, Erica, and I was like, wow. They took me to see Pearlie with Melba Moore at the Fisher. I was like, this is fantastic. And the late, great Sherman Hensley.
Yes.
And then the Wiz came. The original Wiz was Stephanie Mills.
Right.
Theatrical.
Yes.
And my mother gave me the money this time. She said, "You and a friend go." We went 3 times. But then I drifted away because I didn't have an outlet to get into it.
Yes.
I would sneak into after parties from the theatrical stuff, but I didn't know anybody.
Yeah. But now you know everybody.
Ain't God good?
Everybody know Mike. Everybody know Mike. Because when I was talking to my stylist, and I was did we talk this morning? I think we talked this morning briefly. And she made sure she get me together.
And she did.
And right, thank you. And so I said, she says, "Who's your guest?" I said, "Mike Lynch." She go, "Oh, I know him." And so Dr. Katrina.
Yes.
So she said you guys are currently working on a live stage play together now.
Yes. And also we're going to do it's called "Is It Just My Imagination?" It's from a gentleman, Norman Whitfield. He was a writer. The next in line after Smokey. And so one of his personal assistants said he wanted to tell his story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he's going to tell Smokey Robinson's story?
No, Norman Whitfield.
Norman Whitfield. Okay, so just my imagination.
Yeah.
Okay. And so is it already in production?
We have started rehearsals. They've started casting. Sheila Finn, playwright, brought me on board. And she's been in the industry for some years. And she brought me on board. And I was the story I read. And of course, I'm a Motown's baby, so I could relate.
Okay. Well, you know, for the month of April, we shouting out Motown all the way around this podcast. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So we're going to take a shift a little bit into the turning point of your injury.
Yes.
Can you take us back to the day of the accident? What do you remember?
I had just come home. I was on tour with a production by Melvin Childs called Thugs and the Women Who Loved Them. All-star cast, K. Michelle and Life Jennings. He did a cast,
Okay.
and we got a weekend break. And when I came home, I just went to take out the trash, and on that image, you see me on the ground. I'm covered because my neighbors. I walked outside to take out the trash, and the trash. I remember going one way, and I went face forward.
Mm.
And my neighbors said, "We tried to wake you, but we couldn't. We thought you were deceased. We called the police and 911, and they covered the blanket."
Oh.
hmm And when I woke up later that night, I know the time because I was getting ready to watch E.T. Entertainment Tonight, and when I woke up, it was about midnight, and I was in Providence Hospital.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
from there, I dealt with the pain of that trying to be a man, all this. I can swing
Yeah.
it, but it got to so bad that I went and during COVID, I went and saw a neurologist, and he said, "Show me my X-rays,"
Mm-hmm.
and my spine was going every which way.
Mm.
So they did the fusion,
Mm-hmm.
and
So you had a spinal fusion surgery.
yes.
So that means you have rods in your back.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of the spinal. I have a daughter that has had spinal fusion surgery.
Yeah, a spinal fusion.
Okay.
But when I woke up, I couldn't move.
Yeah.
I was like this.
From after the surgery.
Yes. And
Oh.
they said the surgery was about 6-7 hours. And when I woke up, I was just trying to move. And all I could do was yell to the top of my lungs. And nurses came from everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I was hollering. They told me that it was the anesthesia had not wore off.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, good to know that. They said about an hour and a half. And so I said, but y'all got to give me something for this pain. Whatever they gave me, in between it, a doctor came. I couldn't tell you what he was saying to me because I was out of it. Woke up 3 hours later in the same condition.
And you were still in paralysis.
Yes.
So what was going through your mind when you wasn't going through paralysis?
Lord, what did I do to deserve
Ooh, yeah.
That's what was going through my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I stayed in Henry Ford. I don't know if I should say that, but that's where I was.
Right. That's
for 2 years.
Right.
That's my truth.
You stayed in.
For 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then they said, you got to go to rehab. And they sent me to RIM, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Same condition.
Mm.
Mentally, I was never suicidal. I didn't want to. I couldn't have done nothing to kill myself. No way.
You couldn't move. That's not funny, but
move. No,
you can.
but it is funny, Erica. But I kept saying, Lord, I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
That's all I kept saying. I don't want to live like this.
Yeah. So that was your moment where you felt like this might be it for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I have to go home because 3 months of insurance, they was like, you got to go. I had to retire from my job because the reports that they kept getting,
Yeah.
he can't even do light duty.
Yeah.
And so I was forced to retire, take early Social Security and all of that. And I went home, which was bittersweet because in the hospital, 24-hour care,
Yeah.
I speak and, they would come attend to me. They fed me, they bathed me, everything.
Yeah.
And my sons, this was during COVID. My sons came, they all stayed out of state but one. and they were coming sneaking in the hospital. One found how another door was, and they was letting the other ones in, and they would come in my room, and the nurse, she just closed the door. And I went home. I said, oh Lord, now my son is a school teacher, so he had to go back early to learn how they were going to do in-house, because you couldn't come to the buildings.
Right.
And I said, oh God, wonder if I want some water or this, that, and the other.
Dang.
And that's when one of my sons moved in with me.
Oh, that was a blessing. That was a blessing. So what was the thing that kept you fighting other than your son moving in with you?
I just wanted another chance. And that's what I kept telling the Lord. I kept saying, forgive me for whatever I did. You always think it's something you did, but my former pastor, my spiritual father, Lawrence James London from New Jerusalem, said, it's not always what you've done. It's your testimony.
Yes.
No test, no testimony.
Yes.
You've been singing in this choir. You were a church administrator. You listened to everybody else's testimony and shook your head. But now you have a testimony.
Yes.
And when I was home 30 days afterwards on a Sunday morning, something said, get out that bed, Michael. And I didn't pay that no attention. And I heard it again. And I raised my right arm, my left arm. I still, Erica, was slightly nervous. I thought it was just going to be a reaction and then I would revert back. But it did. Thank God.
Yes. Praise God. So you out here walking around up on a podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Look where I'm at today.
Yes. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
That's a blessing. And I didn't know that you had the spinal fusion surgery. When they put the notes in here, I read that, but I'm like, okay, it just didn't kind of click. My daughter had spinal fusion surgery at 12.
Okay.
So she has scoliosis. And 12. I did not identify it early enough. I remember because my auntie, she was a professional dancer, and my daughter is real slender. And she kept saying something ain't right. But we don't pay attention to our aunties. Okay. I'm a young mother. I'm in my 20s with these kids. I didn't know. And so one day she come walking past me and my sister, and she was just like this. And so we looked at her. My sister said, come back here. And we didn't say anything because we didn't want to scare her. We like, turn around. And she was completely like leaned over like this. And she didn't even realize it. And so then I called the family. So I immediately, took her to the doctor. And of course, we had to take her to the specialist. And he said when she hit puberty, it's what sent her body out of whack. And so when she went to sleep one night, she was normal. And when she woke up the next day, she was completely over. So the only thing, she was too far gone to wear a brace. So that was something that I should have did early on. So because we missed that window, she had no choice to get surgery. So before she turned 12 on June 29th. So we threw a big party that Sunday, a pool party, and everybody from everywhere came, and we had a good time. And then after that, we went into surgery. And so the funny thing about it is she walks upright like this.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And she's real slender. And so people always go, why are you act snooty? And it's not, they don't know she can't even bend over. Like, she don't know.
I get it. I call it, I walk back to Tin Man. So I'm the Tin Man.
Right. But do you ever want to, like, is there ever things that you want to do that you can't do anymore because of the spinal fusion surgery?
Work out.
You can't work out?
Because this hand.
Okay.
I can't close it, and this one I can, thank God. But this right one, I can't make a fist. I'm kind of scared to lift barbells or something.
Okay.
Or I'm scared to do push-ups. I just don't want to chance it. I say, this the package you getting? And so this is it.
Yeah.
And so that's about the only thing, Erica, that I don't do that I wish I could do, because I used to do it. I can walk. I get it in by walking.
Okay, good. So you might not necessarily punch somebody, but you will open slap. Oh, okay, we on the podcast. My bad. Let me not go. My team be telling me I gotta act right. No. So usually in this section of the podcast, we take questions from our audience. Is there questions from the virtual audience and in-person audience that you would like for Mike to answer?
Actually, yes, I have a question. My question is, so as a stage production manager extraordinaire.
Oh, you did your work. Your team do their work.
Sleep
I
on
wasn't
my
going to
team.
say that. But
What advice would you give to young Black creatives who want to enter stage production but don't always see themselves represented behind the scene?
that is a real thing. I noticed in the unions, you don't see us represented. And so just do it. Don't worry about who you see or don't see, because there are some of us, and there are some that will share their knowledge. And I would just say, if you want to get into it, if you know somebody like myself, say, hey, Mike, can I shadow you? Of course, because I got to pass this mantle on. I'm not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And I would love to see somebody take it. I have 2 mentors, but they went into the theater aspect, but not behind the scenes. But yes, that's what I would say do. If you can find someone, get to that theater early, get in. They don't mind security that day. And then they probably won't even ask you. Wear black. So you'll mix in and say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I would love to do this type of work.
Yes. Good. And so what else do we have for the virtual audience? I see the comments on the screen, but I can't see that far.
Erica.
Listen, I'm so transparent. I get in
love
trouble. I get in trouble for being so transparent. I get coached like, okay, you can say some things, but you can't say everything.
Right,
so
right.
I'm learning this balance.
You have a message from Crystal. Crystal asks, who is your favorite artist to work with?
Erica Badu.
Oh, why?
Because she's like you, real, transparent. She there's another gentleman that does lights. His name is Big Mike. And so she said, oh, you little Mike. I said, because he about 6'5".
Yeah.
I said, that would be me. And she was just down to earth, welcoming, and whatever I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Patti LaBelle is another one.
Oh.
What you see
Yeah.
is what you get.
Yeah.
With
Now I would
Patti.
love to meet Patty.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I did get, it wasn't my fault. I take the blame for a lot
Okay.
because I'm who they know.
Right.
We were at the Fox, a Christmas concert with Kurt Franklin. He's very friendly too. She ordered a deli tray on her rider.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman from the Fox, because you came in and he opened the little bitty condiments and he took the paper and wrapping off. So her bodyguard, Tony, came. He said, Mike Lynch, and he about 6'9". Miss Patty want to see you. I said, okay. She said, Michael, Miss Patty can't eat that. Why did you open them? I said, yes, ma'am. I didn't even, again, I try my best not to throw people under the bus. I just said, yes, ma'am, I'll get you some new ones. So when I brought her the new condiments, it was right there in the Fox downstairs. So you know what she did? She gave me 2 tickets to the show and said, invite a friend.
Yeah.
I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'll be working, but I'll invite someone.
Right.
Yeah, she's fun.
Oh, yeah, and I love to meet Patty. I think I would love to eat some of her cooking.
Hey, maybe we can get an invite together.
Okay.
If you get one, I'll
right.
bring you, and vice versa.
Absolutely. So you got to let us see this podcast, okay?
That part.
Okay. So we have another question. Where you at, Jalen? Is that you that have a question? Okay. Okay.
So his question was, have you ever felt like your hard work at times was not paying off?
Yes. I am there as the stage manager from 8 a.m. to midnight and a little beyond. I have to be one of the first people there, and I'm the last to go because I have to check dressing rooms after it's over. A lot of artists leave things. And so you have to, if they're valuable, boom. If it's, can I say this, liqueur, you can take it if you want it.
Right.
I don't drink, and that's the truth. Anybody watching will say.
Have
But
you ever drank?
never.
Oh, okay.
And so sometimes I have left that theater and I'd be like, I'm exhausted. I put in far more time. And I think a lot of people will feel this way on any job than I get paid for. Because I'm not an hourly employee. When I accept a gig, I call it a one-off for a concert. You're there and you have a set price or rate that you give that promoter, and boom. And you have to be, this is the unfortunate part. You can't overprice yourself because they say, I'll get the venue stage manager to do it. And so, yeah, there are times you go home, you be like, phew, I work like a Hebrew slave.
Yeah.
But I know it. And I have always said this, when you, on any job, when you love what you do, it's not work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Do we have any more questions?
We do.
Okay.
Mia, the question is, what was your most challenging experience?
Each production, because I'm a contracted stage manager, every director is different. I won't say the play because you can research and see who it was.
Okay.
It was a female. She wanted me to even wrap the furniture for packing when it was time to load out. She wanted me every day to do a sheet of what happened the day before, pass it out to the cast, and they would look at that. They didn't care about that. And she ran her show as if it was Broadway. Urban and Broadway, night and day. But she ran her show like it was Broadway. And she required a lot. There would be times I have to call on my friend, I call him my ride or die, Clayton Cortez, who has a master in theater. I say, Clayton, how do I do this? We would be up on my laptop and sending this, and then he would give it up. But I would be up late. He gave me words of advice. He said, Michael, just take it as a learning experience.
Yes.
But it was challenging.
Yes.
She was very challenging. And after, we talk all the time, quite a bit now. But I don't bring up how challenging she was to me.
He only said challenging 5-6 times.
Okay. It was learning something new after so many years of doing it my way.
Yeah.
Her way was challenging.
Yeah. No, I get it. So we got time for one more question, and then any other questions, we'll get those in the afterglow.
A question from Charlie Cheeks.
Okay.
Charlie asks, is there one particular artist or actor you hope to work with?
Yes, Janet Jackson.
Hey, okay.
I would love to work with Janet Jackson and my favorite entertainer, Diana Ross.
Is Diana still out here singing and stuff?
Diana Ross on tour as we speak.
Really? Oh, wow.
Solo dolo, no opening act, and in arenas.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So we want to talk a little bit about this comeback because you done came back. You done, you know what I mean? You done kicked the steps back together.
Right. Thank God.
So what was the hardest part of learning to move forward again?
Um, I don't know if this is blessed or not, but it happened during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The theater had shut down. People were not going out. They weren't doing anything. So I wasn't missing anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, God. But I know it was my therapy.
Yeah.
And I still go to therapy.
Yeah.
My brother his name is Roderick Lynch. When I got to the point that I could use my lower extremities, he would walk me and I would hold on to him. He's about 6'2", 3. The walking, the exercise, being pushed by several therapists. If there was a specialty, and I'm sure with your daughter, you took her to every specialist to move her. I have seen them all. Some specialists, I didn't even know they had hand specialists.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They got
I have
everything.
seen them. So it was pushing myself.
Yeah.
But I was determined. I said, I don't want to live like this. I could hear God in my ear. You said you don't want to live like this, so put in the work.
Yes, yes. Thank God that you have made that comeback. So on this show, I always talk about purpose and like things that individuals went through and how they use what they went through to overcome that to get
Yes.
to the next level. And so how did that experience change the way you see life and your purpose?
I hope you guys understand this. I have never felt that this line of work was meaningful to anybody but me.
Yeah.
I never thought that I was helping anybody. I have 4 sons. I was a single father
Mm-hmm.
with 4 boys who I love dearly. And I think they love me. They tell me they do. I was a hard taskmaster. I really was.
Yeah.
But I think that for my own good, because I love this industry, and in kindergarten, as we spoke about earlier, I started it.
Mhm.
God led me to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy with myself. Have I helped anybody else along the way? I do have some people I have mentored, but I don't know if it's meaningful, if it's purposeful.
Yeah.
It's what they wanted to do, so I guess it would be.
Yeah.
I guess that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah. Purpose. Sometimes purpose is not always defined. You walk into
Thank
your
you.
purpose by every day by just doing things. Sometimes I just say it's like rolling the dice. You just roll them and then you
Absolutely.
do it. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm good at this. I really, really like this. And then you just start walking into it and you see the lives that you change. And like, cause on a regular basis, I get people that call me and say, oh my God, thank you so much for helping me. And I had no idea that this was what my purpose is, right? I liked being hidden. Sometimes I like being quiet, but then I
Mhm.
understand that God has greater things for us than we have for
Amen.
ourselves.
Amen.
You know, and because you took the opportunity or fought to come back,
Mhm.
your purpose is still here because you help so many people. Because without like those stage plays that we watch, they have a message behind
They
them.
do. They do.
And sometimes you don't know where you get that message from, like when you could just be sitting
You're
and
right,
talking to
Erica.
somebody. And so even watching that stage play, it's like, wow, I got my message. And so that person might go home and really change the trajectory of their life. And so it's because of you that helped put that stage play on. That is your purpose because you change a lot of lives. And you don't have to be on stage to change that life. You change lives each and every day by each stage play that you touch.
Could I give a quick shout out to 2
Absolutely.
individuals? My mentor, I've never been to school for this. Never.
Okay.
I had a mentor named Tyrone Holmes who allowed me to sit by his side.
Mhm.
I was a sponge. Like you said, I just absorbed everything he was doing. And then I was actually working for national playwright Angela Barrow Dunlap.
Mhm.
I was in her office running things. My spiritual gift is administration.
Yes.
And at night, I had an all access pass, which would allow me to go to the theater. And I was just sitting there, T-Money,
Soaking it all up.
soaking it all up. And then one day, Coleman Young's niece, their family said, we have doctors and lawyers and politicians, and what you doing here is not going to work. So she said, I got to go. And Angie said, who can we get, T-Money? And T-Money said, Mike Lynch. She looked at me, Mike Lynch, he my assistant. She said, well, he's yours by day and mine by night.
Amen.
And I owe them everything because I got into the big league
Yes.
with them.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. So we got about 4 minutes left.
Okay.
So for those who want to reach you and utilize your services or whatever, how can they find you?
I have Mike Lynch 3255 at Gmail, and I have Miguel Productions MP 56 at Gmail, and then my website miguelproductions.com.
Awesome. Yes. So we put your website on the screen. And then did you give the shout out to those two that you had him write down earlier? You forgot what you had?
Yes.
Yes.
The Passion of Christ. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm doing the Passion of Christ. We're both working on the Stevie Wonder
Yes.
project, and there's a production coming, My Future Husband.
Okay.
It's going to be live at the Fisher Theater. It's a format like this.
Mhm.
And those are the two upcoming. I hope I didn't leave nobody out.
If they didn't, look, you can reach them in the afterglow, because we do an afterglow segment.
Okay.
And so then when we talk off, it's not live, but we get the questions that we did not get to answer live because
Okay.
our time is limited, because I told you my team be like,
I know. We
right.
don't want to get in trouble.
Right, but we do want to shout out our Stevie Wonder family.
Yes,
So
yes.
as I said before, Mike is part of the committee that I'm on, and it's a bunch of us, and we're putting on the Stevie Wonder Love Walk. It's May 13th, and if you want to know information, we'll make sure that you get the information. Stevie Wonder's cousin, Dr. Sharon Dumas, will be
Yes.
on the show in April, in which we're going to dive deep into that information, and she will definitely make sure that you guys get as
Absolutely.
much information and come and participate in the walk in honor of Stevie Wonder. So thank you so much, Mike, for being on the show. It was
Thank you.
so amazing to have you on. Yay! This was just a remarkable episode. Mike have really shared his story. It's unfortunately that he took that fall, but that fall was the step up for him to continue to walk into his purpose and continue to touch the lives that God has asked him to touch. And I'm so excited because he's a part of the Stevie Wonder Walk, so he is making a big impact on that as well. And so as we continue to go forward in the purpose and the vision that God has placed before us, we're going to do it gracefully, effortlessly, and we're going to do it with the mission in front of us. And so, again, thank you all for tuning into the podcast. Make sure that you go to my website, IamEricaLynnSpeaks.com, and sign up for the April 9th episode, where we're going to do live. We're going to have the dramatics on the podcast. So we have enough room for 150 people. We're going to be in the auditorium, and we're going to do the interview live. So go to my website on the upcoming events page and reserve you a seat, right? So you can come and get you an autograph. But thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mike. I'm excited.
Likewise.
Yes. So you got to come back, and we'll stay for Afterglow. Okay. And so, as I always say, and just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you. God bless you. See you guys next week.